So next thing I want to talk about is energy system training when it comes to conditioning. Football itself is an alactic sport. So in terms of our conditioning protocols, we want to keep it that way. So if you look at the game of football, every play lasts about 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, so then you're going to get 25, 35 seconds, depending on the type of system you run as an offense or a defense, when you're going to have to go again. So you're going to have to do that repeated effort over and over again, 3 to 5 second bouts, 25, 35 seconds rest. Once the drive's over, you're going to be on the sideline for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how the game goes. So we want our conditioning sessions to really mimic that. So, a lot of what we do, we don't stick with the old school 300s, 110s. It's going to be shorter duration, anywhere from 9 seconds to 14 seconds of actual movement. And that's not an all out. It's going to be a tempo, right? It's going to be somewhere between 75 and 80% of maximal effort, with a 20 to 25 second rest in between each rep and a 2 to 3 minute break between each set. So general idea is we may run 2 sets of 8 of a 75 to 80% tempo run. For our skill guys, it's going to be 80 yards. Our front 7 linebackers, tight ends, those guys are going to run in 70 yards. Our bigs are going to run 60 yards. So we'll have a set time for those guys that they have to make. But like we tell them, like, it's not an all out sprint. We're just looking for a good repeated effort, something that's going to mimic the game that they're actually going to play. When we get to the summertime, we will have some team runs, some organized team runs, where we will throw in our Prowler sleds and our LB sleds for our big boys, so they can get used to leaning on people and pushing on people with a 3 to 5 second bout, because that's what they're there to do. Our skill guys are going to have to mimic running routes. Our linebackers are going to have to mimic sprinting, getting lined up at a fast tempo pace. We're going to do things like that to kind of train them for the game of football. Now understand that the best way to get ready to play football, I know, is to play and to practice. We're trying to mimic the game as much as we can in our conditioning protocols to prepare them for practice. We found in our time that the better that we are getting them prepared to play the game, the better we are when we get into practice, the better their mind works. When you talk about mental toughness, everybody likes that buzzword. Knowing what to do when you're asked to do it when you're tired. That is the mental toughness aspect that we're looking for. And then making sure that they are able to perform. And when they can perform and their minds are right and they know where they're going and they're going fast and they're in shape, your injury is going to go down. And when you mitigate injuries and you got your best players on the field, that's when you win. So being smart about your progressions and how you condition and what type of conditioning you actually do is going to be vital to your success.